affected by the loss of a dear friend she used to watch the stars with. If you want a dramatized depiction of their love, there's a YouTube video I can direct you to. That is, if you believe their connection to be romantic. I do, but it was, in the past, a topic of contention. Though, mind you, by now there's nothing to prove. The writers have clarified their intentions with her as a character. Juhani is, in some argument, the first openly queer Star Wars character. In another, one could say she's still hiding behind just enough plausible deniability to not be open. She's certainly among the earliest party member characters in a party-driven game to express a queer sexuality. There's two circumstantial bits of evidence if we're only sticking to the text. One in her rejection of the advance of a friend and fellow student Dak, who is male. The other is that she has every reason to idealize and romanticize, not necessarily romance, a male protagonist, but the game doesn't allow a romantic angle. The evasion of protagosexuality itself is a semi-proof. I'm sorry if it seems silly to emphasize little things in the face of what feels apparent to us, but it has to be clarified that Juhani's romance is the only one that expressly avoids the word love and just says things like, "I have an affection for you." Now, why is the dynamic presented like that? If you assumed that David Gaider, the openly gay writer for the game, had a hand in the inclusion of a plausibly deniable queer plot, you'd be among a lot of people, but you'd also be wrong. In Gaider's own words, "The first time queerness came up was on Knights of the Old Republic with Juhani, and that wasn't my doing. I was, in fact, completely startled by the idea that not only was this a thing that could happen, but more so that my fellow developers, the vast majority of whom are straight men, would not only be okay with it, but actually want to include it." The source for this quote is a post called On the Gay Thing, and it's interesting and worth a read. Link below. It's at the very least interesting that the push for Juhani wasn't by the, at least out, queer staff, but I don't think that lessens her position. That said, Gaider is also hesitant to take the position of Juhani as an explicitly queer character. Per his tweet Almost Lost to Time, we couldn't have her say "I love you" to another woman, for instance, or refer to her past relationships as anything other than friends. As a brief aside, I feel like I remember originally meeting the claims of her queerness with a "can't people just be emotional and sensitive about platonic friendships?" And while I stand by that very general concept, now's not the time or case of its application. On the other side of things, we have the question of potential versus canon. Is a game potential a sign of a canon truth? A canon pairing for a female Revan as a concept is fascinating to me because Revan is canonically male. So we've devised this layer of semi-accuracy. If you choose to declare Revan was a woman in your KOTOR 2 run, Carth was the relation she had. So there's functionally a non-canon lesbian path for a non-canon female main character. But the potential for it at all is interesting. The question of potential outcomes presenting inalienable facets of characters contorts even more in a protagosexual framing. Reframing and reiterating the definition of protagosexuality is attraction to a protagonist that is agnostic of said protagonist's identity and does not actually support an unerring canon queerness of a character. I differ this from just saying everyone is bisexual because a core element of this whole discussion is the absence of external grounding. I'm not asking Sebastian von Stardew Valley to prove he's been with a woman before. This isn't bisexuality means testing, it's about established perpetual truth.
Are you ready to see his lordship now? The honor is ours to have found such a staunch and upright ally. His lordship is looking forward to meeting you.
I appreciate what you have done, Warden, and I apologize for putting one of your rank through such trials. I am Lord Pyral Harrowmont, and I thank you for your efforts to help me preserve King Endrin's throne. Then it is truly refreshing to talk with you. Even had you not aided me, I would be honor-bound to present your treaty to the Assembly. But I'm afraid with no king, they will not act. If you want my support to count, I will have to be king. And right now, there is no sure way to get there. Have you heard of a woman named Jarvia and the criminal Carter she runs? The Assembly receives pleas every day from the common folk, begging that something be done about her. So far, no one has managed. Jarvia hides her base in Dusttown, the raw edges of the city where no one lives but casteless and criminals. If you would help me in this, it would show the Assembly that I, and not Balin, have the ability to defend and rule this city. Do this, and I promise if I take the throne, I will not stop until the Assembly sends your troops. Look for Jarvia in Dusttown. Do whatever it takes to see that justice is served. I must confess I didn't expect you back so soon. I've heard nothing of Dusttown. Did you find Jarvia? I've already hinted to the Assembly that I might have a big announcement soon.
Harrowmont has suckered the Warden. Balin will not allow it.
And you shall pay!
Away with you!
Stop your drooling and save some dignity, fool.
Enemies approaching! We'll get plenty to now we do battle. There is no glory in bloodshed! Best be wary! Let's have it! Performed as I expected.
Easy.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. Long as you keep your eyes down and you...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way. No! Don't make me go back there! Don't let them get me again! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get in your way. Stay away from me. I don't...
What do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. Is that so? What makes you think anyone here would turn me, this person in? You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you.
Well, look at that. It's not often old Nadezda sees a fine-dressed stranger here in Dust Town. Help a poor cripple. Well, thank you truly, my lord. That's right good of you. It takes a stranger to notice how bad things are, huh? No dwarf would lift a sodding finger. Excuse my language. What takes you out of the Diamond Quarters, stranger? You got a vice you're looking for old Nadezda to fill? Know her. I used to run with her. Jarvia took over the Carta not more than a year ago, and already she's got every duster with both legs bearing swords for her. They do, but it's not easy to find. Jarvia's got real paranoid. She's got Carta members all carrying these fingerbone tokens. She scratches some mark into them so she'll know they came from her. There's doors to her base all over the city, but only one is ever open at a time. And if you show up without a token, you'd never know it was there. Can't help you there, Selrocka. The Carta members keep them real tight. But that's worth something, right? Maybe just a little. I'll think of you when I go to bed with a full stomach.
Spare a coin? 2 bits for the needy? What are you trying to do? Kill me?
Spare a bit for the needy? Please. It's not for me, it's for my child. Have you a coin to spare, my lord? It's for my son. He's sick. He hasn't any clean clothes to wear or anything to eat today. Neither have I. Thank you. That a stranger would care so much when my own family barred me from their halls unless I'm willing to. But no! I can't bear to even think of it! My name is Erlinda. I wasn't always like this. I was born to a mining caste family. We weren't wealthy, but I never went hungry before. Now it's all gone, and it's my own fault. Ancestors curse me, but there's nothing I can do to set it right. I fell in love. He seemed so exotic, you know? Tough and smart, and never had to bow his head to anyone. He was casteless, and I know he was just trying to father a higher caste child so he could petition for status. But our child was a son, casteless like his father. My parents disowned me and stripped my caste from me. Unless I agree to abandon the child in the deep roads and pretend I never bore him. You would do that? But why? then I cannot offer enough gratitude. But I warn you, my father is a stiff-necked man. His name is Ordell, and he's usually at Tapster's in the evening. I do not think he will listen to you. But I will wait anxiously to see if you can do what you promise.
Hey there, stranger. 6 bits for a tumble, 2 silvers if you all want to go at once. It's everywhere. That's the problem. There's nowhere she can't see you.
Well, look what we have here. Jarvia said you were looking for trouble. Congratulations. You found it. Don't kill me! Sorry ancestors! What do they teach you on the surface? You fight like a bleeding archdemon. Sweet bloody stone, look at them all! The base is below the city. You can get to it through the wall of the 3rd house on this row. Put this token through the slot, and it'll open. Will you let me go now? Really? Oh, thank you. You're a good person. How do they say it? The ancestors have shown their favor. Bless you.
It is begun. It shall be done.
What's the password? Looks like we have a martyr, boys.
Enemies approaching! That should not have taken as long as it did. It shall be done. It is begun. Shall be done. Very well.
What do you need?
As you say. Very well.
It's your time to die!
Very well. Have you no concern for your own existence? Most excellent! Now we do battle. Let's have at it! Come, let us end this. Quickly, we must fight!
Oh, this should be good.
I shall do. That's it! It has begun. Suits you. Yes. Very well. It shall be done. Watch out! As you say. No quarter shall be given.
Please, stranger. Let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia. Please, help me.
It is begun.
Please, stranger. Let me out. I see you bear no love for Jarvia. Please, help me. Thank you. We've been down here. It's been so long. My friend didn't make it. Just stopped eating one day, and all for a stupid bet.
Let us do it quickly. Take that!
As you say. I shall do it.
Have you no concern for your own existence?
Shall be done. As you say. It's begun.
Right then. It is enough.
I shall do it. Very well. It shall be done. I shall do it.
So, Harrowmont finally realized we're taking the city, yet he still can't be bothered to send his own men. Well, you picked the wrong side, stranger. It doesn't matter who's king, as long as there's a queen. Hardly convincing when your blades are covered in my men's blood. Kill them! But leave the mouthy one alive. I have plans for him.
Enemies approaching! Damn you!
Wipe them out! I'm going to wear your pretty teeth around my wrist!
We must fight. Let us do it quickly.
What do you need?
Very well. As you say. I shall do it.
all the beards of my ancestors. How did you... Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall! What will my customers think when they come in here and see this hole? There better not be more of your troublemaking kind crawling in after you. I swear, this city is going to the criminals and the nuts. You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop? Of course. Keep in mind, we also take items on trade.
As you say.
You again. Here to buy something, or were you just thinking of wrecking another part of my shop? Has she been bothering you? It's a whiff of surface stink, and she's like a cave tick. Won't let go. Do you even know what that means? If Dagna goes to the surface, she forfeits her caste. She'll never be able to marry or work in Orzammar again. Dwarves don't do magic. Dagna knows that. It's just a childhood fantasy that dies hard. Please, if you see her, send her back and let me talk some sense into her.
It shall be done.
You're back? But it takes 2 weeks and 4 days minimum to make the journey to the Circle Tower.
Why do I get the feeling charting routes to the Circle Tower is one of her favorite hobbies?
I'm guessing you haven't left yet. Well, I've waited 19 years. Another month won't kill me.
Grey Wardens present in Orzammar. Endorsement of Lord...
I heard the news. Jarvia and Hecata are dead. I suppose it was unrealistic to expect them to surrender. Would that some of the noble caste had such loyalty. I have no desire to go back on my word. But when Balin heard the news about Jarvia, he raised the stakes. He is forcing a vote in the next 2 days. By law, that prevents the Assembly from hearing any other pleas. To help with your troops, I will require your assistance one last time. Do you know anything of the Paragon Branka? Yes, a smokeless fuel that made underground forges safer than they've ever been. 2 years ago, she took her entire house into the deep roads on a mad quest to uncover ancient secrets. No one's heard from her since. Were she to return and endorse someone for the throne, the Assembly would be honor-bound to accept her wishes. It's hard to say what she would do. She wasn't exactly known for her predictability. She never seemed to like being a paragon. She was devoted to her craft, never cared for politics. But one of the most brilliant minds Orzammar has seen. Branka hated Darkspawn with a passion. She would certainly be a valuable voice to support your treaty. My men traced Branka's disappearance to an ancient crossroads known as Caridin's Cross. It is many miles below where we normally venture, but I can provide a map to lead you there. Just enter the deep roads through the mines. Thank you again, and may the ancestors guide your steps.
So, you were serious before when you said you wanted to help Branka, huh? I'm Oghren. I don't know if you remember. People seem to forget me these days. Or ignore. I forget which. I have. For all the sodding good it's done me. I'm the only one who still cares about her as a person. Everyone else thinks she's just a symbol they can leave in the deep roads where she can't offend anyone. I know what Branka wanted and how she was looking. You, I assume, know whatever Harrowmont's men have dug up on where exactly she disappeared. If we pool our knowledge, we stand a chance of finding Branka. Otherwise, good sodding luck. You should know that Branka was looking for the Anvil of the Void, the secret to building golems, which was lost centuries ago. The smith Caridin built it, and with it, Orzammar had 100 years of peace, while it was protected by the golems forged on the Anvil. As far as anyone knows, the Anvil was built in the old Orton Thaig. Branka planned to start looking there, if she could ever find it. All she knew was that it was past Caridin's Cross. No one's seen that Thaig for 500 years. If we're going, let's get moving. Branka's not gonna sodding find herself.
Vashaden.
What's this? A human? Did we make these tunnels tall enough for humans? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesha's permission.
Open your eyes, man! This Grey Warden is on a quest to find your Paragon! Do I have to take your stinking head off?
Oghren could have been a Desher for House Branca. I suppose he's the next best thing in both skill and arrogance. You may pass. I'd offer more assistance, but my command post is here. All of Orzammar relies on us to hold this line. Best of luck with your quest, Warden. Orzammar needs a paragon now more than ever. Be careful out there.
If Balin becomes king, he'll have us push forward. Do you think we might retake some ground?
It's a welcome relief with the Darkspawn thinned out. Gives us time to settle the throne.
Caridin's Cross. I can't believe Harrowmont actually tracked this place down. This used to be one of the biggest crossroads in the old Empire. You could get anywhere from here, including Orton Tig. Not a one. But trust me, we will once we're on the path to the old Orton Tig. She was going to Caridin's home. I've been waiting for someone to say that for 2 sodding years.
Well, look what we have here. A couple of Harrowmont's little lackeys. Let's show them who's king. Well, look what we have here. A couple of Harrowmont's little lackeys. Let's show him who's king.
It's begun. As you say. I shall do it.
Cross me and you shall pay!
Hey, watch it!
I am your death!
Now we do battle. Let us do it quickly.
It's your time to die! It's your time to die!
That's where they come from. That's why they hate us. That's why they need us. That's why they take us. That's why they feed us. But the true abomination is not that it occurred, but that it was allowed. Branka, my love. The stone has punished me, dream friend. I am dying of something worse than death. Betrayal.
Marcus anywhere. This has to be it. She will not be unprepared.
What was that?
Let me be blunt with you. After all this time, my tolerance for social graces is fairly limited. That doesn't bother you, I hope.
Well, shave my back and call me an elf. Bronca, by the stone! I barely recognized you.
Oghren. It figures you'd eventually find your way here. Hopefully you can find your way back more easily. And how shall I address you? Hired sword of the latest lordling to come looking for me? Or just the only one who didn't mind Oghren's ale breath?
Be respectful, woman. You're talking to a Grey Warden.
Ah, so an important errand boy, then. I suppose something serious has happened. Is Endrin dead? That seems most likely. He was on the old and wheezy side. A king won't defeat a blight. We've had 40 generations of kings, and lost everything. I don't care if the Assembly puts a drunken monkey on the throne. Because our protector, our great invention, the thing that once made our armies the envy of the world, is lost to the very darkspawn it should be fighting. The Anvil of the Void. The means by which the ancients forged their army of golems and held off the first archdemon ever to rise. It's here, so close I can taste it. The anvil lies on the other side of a gauntlet of traps designed by Caridin himself. My people and I have given body and soul to unlocking its secrets. This is what's important. This has lasting meaning. If I succeed, the Dwarven people benefit. Kings, politics, all that is transitory. I've given up everything and would sacrifice anything to get the Anvil of the Void. I will not give up. His legacy lies just inside, the sum of all his knowledge, and I will have it. There's only one way out, Warden. Forward. Through Caridin's maze, and out to where the anvil waits.
What has this place done to you? I remember marrying a girl you could talk to for 1 minute and see her brilliance.
I am your paragon. I needed people to test Caridin's trap. They were all mine. Pledged to be my house, and they didn't want to help. They tried to leave me, even my Hespith. But even she couldn't understand that when you reach for greatness, there are sacrifices.
No quarter shall be given.
shall be done. It is begun. It shall be done. Very well. Shall be done. As you say. It shall be done.
My name is Caravan. Once, longer ago than I care to think, I was a paragon to the dwarves of Orzammar. If you seek the anvil, then you must care about my story, or be doomed to relive it. Though I made many things in my time, I rose to fame and earned my status based on a single item, the Anvil of the Void. It allowed me to forge a man of steel or stone as flexible and clever as any soldier. As an army, they were invincible, but I told no one the cost. No mere smith, however skilled, has the power to create life. To make my golems live, I had to take their lives from elsewhere. So said my king. I had only intended to use volunteers, but he was not satisfied, and soon a river of blood flowed out of this place. Finally, it was too much. I refused, and so Valtor had me put on the anvil next. Not revenge. The blow of the hammer opened my eyes. My apprentices knew enough to make me as I am, but not enough to fashion a control rod. I retained my mind. We have remained entombed here ever since, and I have sought a way to destroy the anvil. Alas, I cannot do it myself. No golem can touch it.
No! The anvil is mine! No one will take it from me!
You, please, help me destroy the anvil. Do not let it enslave more souls than it already has.
Don't listen! He's been trapped here for 1,000 years, stewing in his own madness. Help me claim the anvil, and you will have an army like you've never seen!
Branka, you mad, bleeding nugtail! Does this thing mean so much to you that you can't even see what you've lost to get it?
Look around. Is this what our empire should look like? A crumbling tunnel filled with dark spawn spume? The anvil will let us take back our glory!
Have you no desire to discover this anvil's potential? It is a marvel, a tool of creation. You could rival the Maker himself with this instrument. If you destroy the anvil, I swear you will regret it. You would not dare. I would rather not find out. Fine. Destroy it if it pleases you.
Thank you, stranger. Your compassion shames me.
Bah! You're not the only master smith here, Caradin. Golems, obey me! Attack!
A control rod! But, my friend, you must help me! I cannot stop her alone! Listen to me.
What do you need?
It shall be done.
Another life lost because of my invention. I wish no mention of it had made it into history.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. Stupid woman. Always knew the anvil would kill her.
But at least it ends here. I thank you for standing with me, stranger. The anvil waits there for you to shatter it.
Yes, excellent idea. Just destroy it now, after all this.
Is there any boon I can grant you for your aid? A final favor before I am freed from my burden?
I don't suppose you can bring Bronca back. Maybe make her a golem like you.
I would not do such a thing to her, even if I could.
Somehow I didn't think so. Well, and I don't want anything that would remind me of this. Best it's just done. There is still the matter of the election. I mean, we still need a Paragon to get the Assembly support, right?
For the aid you've given me, I shall put hammer to steel one last time, and give you a crown for the king of your choice. There, it is done. Give it to whom you will. I do not wish to hear their names, nor anything more of them. I have already lived far beyond my time. I have no place here. That would please me, human. You have my eternal thanks, stranger. A trust in Al Tunsha. May you always find your way in the dark.
that pretty much beat the sod out of how I imagined it. You ready to head back yet and share the news? Yeah, those Deshers have been trying to destroy the city for years. Haven't managed yet.
Lords of the Assembly, I call for order. This argument gets us nowhere.
Then why these delaying tactics? I call for a vote right now. My father has one living child to assume the Idukan throne. Who would deny him that?
Your father made me swear on his deathbed you would not succeed him.
I apologize for the interruption, Lord Steward, but the Grey Warden has returned.
We should let the Warden speak. What news do you bring?
Caridin was trapped in the body of a golem. This Warden granted him the mercy he sought, releasing him and destroying the Anvil of the Void. Before he died, Caridin forged a crown for Orzamar's next king, chosen by the ancestors themselves.
And we are supposed to trust this? The word of a drunken sot and a Grey Warden known to be in Harrowmont's pocket?
Silence! This crown is of Paragon make, and bears House Hortan's ancient seal. Tell us, Warden, whom did Caridin choose?
The Grey Warden knows nothing about us. Why would a Paragon entrust someone like this with such a weighty decision? This is ridiculous!
We've argued in these chambers for too long. The will of the Paragon is that the Grey Warden decide.
I appreciate your forthrightness, Warden. You have acted with grace through this entire torturous process.
Let the memories find you worthy. First amidst the lords of the houses, the King of Orzammar.
I will not abide by this!
The ancestors have spoken!
Would you let a surfacer decide the fate of the dwarves?
Watch out! They brought weapons!
Guards!
Enemies approaching!
I admit I did not think even Balin would defy the word of a Paragon, nor that so many would follow him. But most of Orzammar has seen him for what he really is, and I trust we will bring this insurgency under control. I prefer to be known as a just and compassionate king. Strong too often comes to mean tyrannical. but I will not leave this uprising unpunished. Those loyal to the throne will begin preparations for a surface mission immediately. Orzammar will fulfill its treaties.
Thank you, King Harrowmont. Perhaps your rule will mark a new era for Orzammar.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get to the palace and set our plans in motion. This is the staff I carried as King Endrin's II. Take it as a reminder of your place in Orzammar. I wish you luck against the Blight Warden. May we foster another 4 centuries of peace.
Your role in this election will long be remembered.
As you say. It shall be done.
Your role in this election will long be remembered, Warden.
The Assembly paid you great honor, Warden.
Grey Warden, you have impressed the best of us. Grey Warden, you have impressed the best of us.
The Warden
We
has
must not
joined
exhaust
Harrowmont.
our supplies.
Attack Revelin!
Greetings.
News of the hour. All hail King Pyral Harrowmont. The worthiest dwarf has ascended.
Well, I see what sort of company you've taken up.
It shall be...
That is a most offensive odor.
And you're looking at me?
Should I be looking elsewhere? Have you forgotten about the fish you stored in your backpack, perhaps?
I was saving it. Won't be ready for the lie for at least another day.
Even the Chastened did not have such disgusting habits, and they consumed the flesh of the dead.
Fine, fine. I'll soak it in the lie now. Have it
As you
your
say.
way. Be squish.
That's
For the
not
love
what I...
of
no, never mind. Just get
Now
it over
that-
with quickly.
Give me a moment. Why, the stone. I feel like I'm about to fall off the world with all that sky up there. Strange? Strange is your wife turning out to prefer the ladies, not living in a world without a bleeding ceiling. Well, let's get moving. We're losing, daylight.
Hail to the Grey Warden!
They always say that, though.
Well, this time it's true. They're not sure what to do about it yet, he says.
What's to do? I thought you killed them.
Easier said than done. Mages pick a fine time to go turning into demons, I tell you.
Sire, I have more news. Oh, yes. Well, it seems that the fighting has gone
Enough.
exactly as you...
I would like to know what you intend to accomplish, Father. Should we not be fighting the Darkspawn instead of each other?
The nobility should be brought into line and then the Darkspawn defeated. This is no true blight, Anora. Only Kaelin's vanity demanded it be so.
Beg pardon, sire. But blight or no, we may not have the manpower to face the Darkspawn soon.
Kaelin approached your legions for support, did he not?
Never! Marek and I drove those bastards out! We'll not roll out the welcome for them now!
We need help, Father. We cannot deal with this crisis alone.
Ferelden will stand on its own! I will lead it through this, Anora. You must have faith in me.
Did you kill Kaelin?
Kaelin's death was his own doing.
Oh, thank the Maker. We need help. They attacked the wagon. Please help us. Follow me. I'll take you to them.
Not exhaust our supplies.
Time to dance.
Another battle, I see.
Time for a little bloodletting, I see. Not so fast. Right then. I love this game. Attack! No mercy. I hope I don't get blood all over me again. Time to dance. I still remember my first battle. This This really gets the blood pumping.
You asked for it.
Time to dance.
You're gonna get yours. Here's the music. Time to dance. Speak. Stand still. New tactic.
All right. Oh, another battle it is.
I'm not dead. I'm not dead.
Oh, what? I rather thought I would wake up dead, or not wake up at all, as the case may be. But I see you haven't killed me yet. Ah, so I'm to be interrogated. Let me save you some time. My name is Zevran. Zev to my friends. I am a member of the Antivan Crows, brought here for the sole purpose of slaying any surviving Grey Wardens, which I have failed at, sadly. Why not? I wasn't paid for silence. Not that I offered it for sale, precisely. Loyalty is an interesting concept. If you wish, and you're done interrogating me, we can discuss it further. Very well. Ask, and thou shalt receive. An order of assassins, of course, out of Antiva. I suppose you wouldn't hear much of them out here, but where I come from, we're rather infamous. Not precisely. I was in the neighborhood when the offer came. The Crows get around, you see. A rather taciturn fellow in the capital. Logain, I think his name was. Yes, that's it. I wasn't. If I had succeeded, I would have returned home and the Crows would have informed your Logain of the results, if he didn't already know. If I had failed, I would be dead, or I should be, at least as far as the Crows are concerned. No need to see Logain then. What can I say, huh? I am an eternal optimist. Although the chances of succeeding at this point seem a bit slim, don't they? No, I don't suppose you'd find that funny, would you? I wasn't paid anything. The Crows, however, were paid quite handsomely, or so I understand. Which does make me about as poor as a Chantry mouse, come to think of it. Being an Antivan Crow isn't for the ambitious, to be perfectly honest. Well, aside from a distinct lack of ambition, I suppose it's because I wasn't given much of a choice. The Crows bought me young. I was a bargain, too, or so I'm led to believe. But don't let my sad story influence you. The Crows aren't so bad. They keep one well supplied. Wine, women, men, whatever you happen to fancy. Though the whole severance package is garbage, let me tell you. If you're considering joining, I'd really think twice about it. You seem like a bright lad. I'm sure you've other options. I have no idea what his issues are with you. The usual, I imagine. You threaten his power, yes? Beyond that, no, I am not loyal to him. I was contracted to perform a service. Oh, well, that's between Loghain and the Crows, and between the Crows and myself. Isn't that what we're establishing now? Then, unless you're quite stuck on cutting my throat or something equally gruesome, perhaps you'd care to hear a proposal. Well, here's the thing. I failed to kill you, so my life is forfeit. That's how it works. If you don't kill me, the Crows will. Thing is, I like living. And you obviously are the sort to give the Crows pause, so let me serve you instead. Well, let's see. Being allowed to live would be nice, and would make me marginally more useful to you. And somewhere down the line, if you should decide that you no longer have need of me, then I go on my way. Until then, I am yours. Is that fair?
What? You're taking the assassin with us now? Does that really seem like a good idea? All right, I see your point. Still, if there was a sign we were desperate, I think it just knocked on the door and said hello.
A fine plan, but I would examine your food and drink far more closely from now on, were I you.
That's excellent advice for anyone.
We're taking the elf? Oh, fine. Fine. I see standards are just falling down all over the place.
I see. Are we now supposed to engage in some manner of archetypal dwarf-elf banter, my friend?
Nah.
I hereby pledge my oath of loyalty to you until such a time as you choose to release me from it. I am your man, without reservation. This I swear. Yes.
What is the name they have for Mother and I? Apostates? Truly, it boggles the mind.
Why, bless my soul. What's a distinguished personage like yourself doing here? Don't hold your breath. No one's been allowed to cross the lake for days. I'm the ferryman. Leastwise, I used to be. Poor old Kester. Out of a job. I don't got a clue. They wouldn't tell me. Gregor just came down and said, "Don't you worry, Kester. We got it all under control, we do." Didn't say nothing else. And then he puts Carol in charge of my boat. Lissy. Named for my grandmum, she was. He's Knight Commander of the Templars up in the tower. Good man. I told you, they didn't tell me nothing. And if I know they're mages, I'm better off keeping out of their business. If I had to guess, I'd guess it had to do with magic, but the tower's always got something to do with magic. You go on ahead, then. They were nice talking to you.
Good day.
Good day, and welcome to the Spoiled Princess. Is there something I can get for you? It was my father's idea. He ran the inn before me, and he named it for my sister. She was his little princess. Princess decided the country was too dull for her and moved to Denerim. More glamorous, she said. Well, she was found murdered, robbed of all the trinkets my father bought her with his hard-earned money. My father died of shock and heartbreak. Mother stopped eating, and I got the struggling in. The name stuck. That's the story. Of course. What would you like?
What are you looking at? Can a man drink in peace?
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
The Blight. How will you end it? You say you are a Grey Warden. I have heard stories of this order. Great strategists and peerless warriors. That is what we hear of the Wardens. So far, I am not impressed. Evidently not. It remains only to see what you are here for.
Here I am. Oh, this should be good. Go ahead. Well now, I imagine that's a very fair question. Being an assassin, after all, is a living, at least as far as such things go. I was simply never given the opportunity to choose another way. So, if that choice presents itself, why should I not seize upon it? Now that you mention it, I am not entirely certain. I was but a boy of 7 when I was purchased, for 3 sovereigns, I'm told, which is a good price, considering I was all ribs and bone and didn't know the pommel of a dagger from the pointy end. The Crows buy all their assassins that way. Buy them young, raise them to know nothing else but murder, and if you do poorly in your training, you die. Oh, I don't know about that. The Crows who are actually good enough to survive come to enjoy some of the benefits. In Antiva, being a Crow gets you respect. It gets you wealth. It gets you women. And men. Or whatever it is you might fancy. But that does not mean doing what is expected of you always. And it means being expendable. It's a cage, if a gilded cage. Pretty, but confining. I fancy many things. I fancy things that are beautiful, and things that are strong. I fancy things that are dangerous and exciting. Would you be offended if I said I fancied you? Oh, you're speaking seriously, aren't you? I do forget that this is not Antiva City. We are a little more open-minded about such things where I hail from. Is this something that I should beg pardon for? Pleasantly, I hope. As for what I'll do in the future, presuming that there is one, I truly can't imagine. It might be interesting to go into business for myself, for a change. Far away from Antiva, of course. For now, naturally, I go where you go. And here I am, happy to be had. Isn't it wonderful how things work out that way? Come now, enough chit-chat. Talking about the crows summons them, you know. Any Antivan fishwife could tell you so. All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. I know little enough of the Dalish other than the fact that my mother was one, or so I was told. She had fallen in love with an elven woodcutter and accompanied him back to the city, leaving her clan behind for good. And there, of course, the woodcutter died of some filthy disease and my mother was forced into prostitution to pay off his debts. Oldest tale in the book. Is it? It seemed normal enough a tale growing up. No different than the other elven boys in the whorehouse. I didn't know my mother either, of course. She died giving birth to me. My first victim, as it were. We were all raised communally by the whores. It was a happy enough existence, ignoring the occasional beating. Until eventually I was sold to the crows. I brought a good price, so I hear. That's very kind of you to say, but it is not necessary. It could have been much worse. Shall I tell you about what happened to the other whorehouse boys who did not fetch a decent price with the crows? Surely your life has not been so idyllic. People like you and I are not the product of happy lives of contentment, after all. My original point is that my mother's Dalish nature was always a point of fascination for me. Through all the years of my crow training, the one thing of my mother's that I possessed was a pair of gloves. They were of Dalish make, I knew that much, and beautiful. I had to keep them hidden, of course, as we were not allowed such things. Eventually, they were discovered, and I never saw them again. Oh, there has been plenty. To tell the truth, it is because I expected nothing more. Still, even I eventually thought that it would be better for me if I ran off to join the famous Dalish when one of their clans drew near Antiva city. Naturally, the reality did not live up at all to the fantasies I had constructed as a boy, staring at those gloves. But such is life. Come, enough talk of the Dalish. Let us move on.
You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed. It's good to have you along on the road. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount. You and your friends are formidable folk, indeed.
Thank you so much. Yes? Well, here I am. I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith. In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything? That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. And why not? There are many things to enjoy about being a crow in Antiva. You are respected, you are feared, the authorities go out of their way to overlook your trespasses, even the rewards are nothing to turn your nose up at. As for the killing part, well, some people simply need assassinating. Or do you disagree? Let me ask you a question, then. You have killed a great many since becoming a Grey Warden, no? Have none of them deserved their fate? And you have only ever killed Darkspawn? I find that hard to believe. But so be it. Perhaps I simply do not live up to your standards. As far as enjoying the act of killing itself, why not? There is a certain artistry to the deed, the pleasure of sinking your blade into their flesh and knowing that their life is in your hands. It is not pleasure, per se, nothing sexual. It is more a sense of satisfaction, a feeling of power. Does that make sense? No matter. There are many things I did not enjoy about being a crow, of course. Having no choice, being treated as an expendable commodity, the rules, oh, so many rules. But simply being an assassin, I like it just fine. I will continue to do it if I can, even if I am not a crow. Honestly, could you picture me doing something else? I mean professionally. Or maybe you mean professionally as well. Perhaps you intend to peddle my services to bored Ferelden noblewomen. It is an interesting thought, but I've always removed my clothes strictly on an amateur basis. A talented amateur, of course, but an amateur nonetheless. Of course, all these thoughts are moot. Chances are still good that you and I will perish, eaten by Darkspawn or slain by the crows at some point. Very gruesomely, I imagine. But it is pleasant enough to chat about. Come, let's move on while our boots still have some wear in them. All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. My adventures? I'm hardly an old man just returned from across the ocean, am I? Should I shake my fist at nearby children while I talk about the good old days? falling down a flight of stairs is an adventure. Falling into someone's bed, also an adventure. I am assuming what you're looking for are professional anecdotes. Let's see, my second mission ever for the Crows was a bit intriguing. I was sent to kill a mage who had been meddling in politics. Well, it was just the one mage. Not as simple a mission as the vagrant Grey Warden or two, perhaps. As it turned out, the mage in question was quite a delightful young woman. Long, divine legs, as I recall. I caught her in a carriage on her way to escape to the provinces. After I killed her guard, she got down on her hands and knees and begged for her life. Rather aptly, I might add. So I joined her in the carriage for the night and left the next morning. Well, yes, twice, actually. Then she decided to try and use me instead. The woman had actually convinced me to speak to the Crows on her behalf. What can I say? I was young and foolish at the time. Then, as I was kissing her goodbye to return to Antiva City, she slipped on the threshold and fell backwards out of the carriage. Broke her neck. Shame, really, but at least it happened quickly. Not actually, no. I was a bit unimpressed by the development at first. Then I found out that she had told the driver to take her to Janellen instead. She had planned to lose me in the provinces. I would have looked very foolish to the Crows. As it was, my master was very impressed that I had done such a fine job of making it look like an accident. The Circle of Magi was unaware of foul play, and everyone was happier all around. I got stupid, in fact, and very lucky. It was after that when I learned that one needn't let a pretty face go to your head. Professionalism was key. That's my moral of the day, you see. And one that not everyone learns, I'm sad to say. But that's enough tale spinning from me for the moment. Talking about the mage has made me a bit nostalgic, I'm afraid. Ah, the good old days.
I am grateful. 'Tis thoughtful indeed.
I could get used to this, you know.
I am impressed. I thank.
By my ensign.
That's a wonderful thought. I don't know what to say. Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
You have excellent taste. How nice. I've a question, if I may. Well, here's the thing. I swore an oath to serve you, yes? And I understand the quest you're on, and this is all very fine and well. My question pertains to what you intend to do with me once this business is over with, as a point of curiosity. Could I? And what if I didn't wish to leave? It is difficult to say. Is there no one that I might stay for? So would I should think. It is good to know what my options might be, but that is for another time. For now, we have much to do, yes?
What do you need? You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did. I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry. I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of. I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him. Of course, I'd be dead then, wouldn't I? It's not like that would make him happier. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Have you had someone close to you die? Not that I mean to pry, I'm just... Oh, of course. How stupid of me to forget. Here I am going on and on about Duncan, and you... I am so sorry. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little. That's good to hear. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who remembers him well. What do you need? Ask away.
What do you wish of me? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What do you wish of me? If you must. Well, that depends, does it not? What does she seem to be? Oh, she is certainly old. Have no mistake of that. Tell me, how much do you know of the tale? The one that the chastened still tell of my mother, to frighten them into obedience. Ah, I see. That does explain much. I can relay what Flemeth once told me herself,
and you can decide whether or not 'tis the truth, if you desire. As the tale is sung by the bards, there was a time when Flemeth was young and beautiful, a fair lass in a land of barbarian men, the desire of any who saw her. The tales say that Flemeth fell in love with Osen the Bard, and fled the castle of her husband, the dread Lord Conobar, and that he swore vengeance for her infidelity. In truth, my mother claims that 'twas Osen who was her husband, and Conobar the jealous lord who looked on from afar. Lord Conobar approached young Osen and offered him wealth and power in exchange for his lovely wife, and Osen agreed. The life of a bard is a poor one, and love fades in the wake of hunger. 'Twas Flemeth who suggested the arrangement. All would have been well had Lord Conobar kept his end of the bargain. But he was a foul man who bargained with coin he did not possess. Osen was led off to a field and slain, left for dead. Flemeth spoke to the spirits and learned of the deed, and swore revenge. That was not the point. Conobar had no honor, so she would not have him. Flemeth begged the spirits to aid her, and 'twas they who slew Conobar. The demon the legend tells of came later. Lord Conobar's allies chased Flemeth, you see, chased her to the wilds, and there she hid. There she found the demon, and he made her strong. The legends all speak of the great hero Cormac, he who defeated Flemeth and her great army when she invaded the lowlands centuries later. All lies. The truth of the matter is that there was never an invasion. As Flemeth tells it, the Chastened never raised an army under her banner, and she never fought with any warrior named Cormac. Cormac led a brutal civil war against his own people, and later claimed it was to vanquish evil that had taken root amongst the lords. Thus, he was hailed a hero. Flemeth was only attached to the legend much later. Perhaps 'twas due to the great war with the Chastened that eventually came, but Mother claims not to know how it began. Flemeth tells it with far more embellishment than I, but you are welcome. Dare I ask of your own mother? Few are abominations of legend, 'tis true, but I find myself curious nevertheless. Ah, then you have my sympathies for what it is worth. Which is very little, I am certain. It matters not. Let us move on. What have you there? A mirror? You could not know it, but I possessed something very similar long ago. I stole such a mirror from a village, and Flemeth was enraged at my carelessness. She destroyed it, much to my dismay. It is incredible that you found one so like it. I am uncertain what to say. You must wish something in return, certainly. You say that as if I should be accustomed to such a thing. I have never received a gift, not one which did not come at a price. I suppose I should say thank you for the gift. 'Tis most thoughtful, truly. I await your command. At times, perhaps. A world full of people and buildings and things was all very foreign to me. If I wished companionship, I ran with the wolves and flew with the birds. If I spoke, 'twas to the trees. For a time, but one can only remain a child for so long. I recall the first time I crept beyond the edge of the wilds. I did so in animal form, remaining in the shadows and watching these strange townsfolk from afar. I happened upon a noblewoman by her carriage, adorned in sparkling garments the likes of which I had never before seen. I was dazzled. This, to me, seemed what true wealth and beauty must be. I snuck up behind her and stole a hand mirror from the carriage. 'Twas encrusted in gold and crystalline gemstones, and I hugged it to my chest with delight as I sped back to the wilds. Flemeth was furious with me. I was a child and had not yet come into my full power, and I had risked discovery for the sake of a pretty bauble. To teach me a lesson, Flemeth took the mirror and smashed it upon the ground. I was heartbroken. And a foolish one. Flemeth was right to break me of my fascination. Beauty and love are fleeting and have no meaning. Survival has meaning. Power has meaning. Without those lessons, I would not be here today, as difficult as they might have been. Do I not? I am still an apostate mage, even if I have left the wilds. The Darkspawn are yet undefeated? No, there is much that remains. To return to your original question, perhaps my time in the wilds was indeed lonely, but such was how it had to be. I find myself at times wondering what might have become of the girl with the beautiful golden mirror, but such fantasies have no place amidst reality. A fine gift. You have my... I await your command. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? I assume you were actually asking whether Flemeth herself gave birth to me. Truly, I do not know. I once asked Flemeth that very question, and she merely laughed at me. 'Tis not inconceivable that she could capture a chastened man, or perhaps change to a more attractive form to attract him willingly. I find it more difficult to imagine her with child. It seems likely, does it not? In an animal form, a babe could easily be spirited away and raised as Flemeth's own. I do know the tales of Flemeth having many daughters, even though I have never met another, and Flemeth has always treated me as her blood. I would have nothing in common with them, nor any need for what they might provide. Flemeth taught me everything I needed to learn: how to survive, the meaning of power, the truth of men. If other mothers do not teach these things, then I believe them the lesser. You suppose it's true? 'Tis true. To indulge in love is to indulge in delusion. Surely a Grey Warden such as yourself does not believe otherwise. An honest answer, if a somewhat vapid one. You shall learn in time, if fortune smiles on you. I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend. Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know? There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary. They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask. The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess. Anyone with sufficient will, but the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed. No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the Chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could, but as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one. Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but to condemn all who do not fall under the Circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom. Indeed, Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch? Oh, you're simply full of surprises, little man, aren't you? But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. Well, the Crows would have you believe that it is an involved process that takes years of training, the sort that tests both your resolve and your endurance. Survive that process and maybe, just maybe, you're good enough to start being considered one of them. But quite frankly, the truth is that all it requires is a desire to kill people for a living. It's surprising how well one can do in such a field. I don't know about that. It's simply a slightly different skill set from your average killer as I see it. An assassin simply specializes in striking from stealth, and in maximizing that first attack to be as lethal as possible. Debilitate your foe, either by poison or by crippling their limbs, makes any follow-up combat you need to engage in that much simpler. Then I don't imagine an assassin's life would be one for you. Of course, the Crows like to pretend that their abilities are trade secrets, shrouded in shadows and wrapped in a blanket of mystery. So let's just keep this between you and me, shall we? All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. Oh, you wish to know about Antiva, do you? The only way to truly appreciate it would be to go there. It is a warm place, not cold and harsh like this Ferelden. In Antiva it rains often, but the flowers are always in bloom, or so the saying goes. It's not really a matter of wanting to go back. I cannot go, at least not yet. I hail from the glorious Antiva city, home to the royal palace. It is a glittering gem amidst the sand, my Antiva city. Do you come from someplace comparable? Oh, I have never seen that place. I am sure it has its charms, and its dogs. You know what is most odd? We speak of my homeland, and for all its wine and its dark-haired beauties and the lilo flutes of the minstrels, I miss the leather the most. I mean the smell. For years, I lived in a tiny apartment near Antiva City's leather-making district, in a building where the Crows stored their youngest recruits, packed in like crates. I grew accustomed to the stench, even though the humans complained of it constantly. To this day, the smell of fresh leather is what reminds me most of home more than anything else. Oh, not so long, I know. It is my first time away from Antiva, however, and the thought of never returning makes me think of it constantly. Before I left, I was tempted to spend what little coin I possessed on leather boots I spotted in a store window. Finest Antivan leather, perfect craftsmanship. But I was a fool to leave them. I thought, Zevran, you can buy them when you return as a reward for a job well done. More the fool I, no? True, and it's a comforting thought. One simply never knows what is to come next. How could I have suspected I would end up defeated by a handsome Grey Warden? A man who then spares my life? I could not. perhaps that was a poor choice of words. True, though it is. Do you object? And glad I am to hear it. Now, if it is all the same to you, I would prefer not to speak more of Antiva. It makes me wistful and hungry for a proper meal. Oh, this should be good. What would you like to discuss? Intrigued by tight leather clothing? I grew up amongst Antivan whores, men and women both. My introduction to the subject of sex was, shall we say, rather practical. My only rule regarding sex is that it be done well. It's a certain open-mindedness that the Crows seek in their recruits, for very good reasons. I've been with both men and women in my time. Many, in fact. Often for business, but not always. Given my druthers, I would say I prefer a soft and shapely woman. But I know what I am. I will not discount anyone solely because of what someone else tells us is right or wrong. I cannot change my past, obviously. You are a most intriguing man, but if what I represent makes you uncomfortable, well, it would be better for both of us to know that now, yes? No, I didn't expect it would. You've a bit of an open mind yourself, no? Ah, enough talk of the past. As my tutor used to say, keep your eyes to the rear in the ambush and the bedchamber, and not otherwise. Ah, words to live by. How nice.
I am impressed. My thanks.
I could get used to this, you know. Something on your mind? Of course. Never what? Had a good pair of shoes? Oh, so that's what we're talking about. Well, if you really want to know, you tell me first. I myself have also never done it. That. Not that I haven't thought about it, of course, but you know. Well, living in the Chantry is not exactly a life for rambunctious boys. They raised me to be a gentleman. That's not so bad, is it? I've no urge to rush into anything. We may not even survive what is to come, after all. Enough. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go.
Again? I'm game.
Come to talk to old Ogren, have you? Don't know why. Nothing. I'm fine. Just, I got a hornet in my eye is all. Did you want to talk about something? What about? Oh, sure. I'm fine with it. I mean, she was a real firebrand between the sheets, but a bit soft in the skull, you know what I mean? Explains why she left, anyway. Oh, you don't know her. She was cracked like a glass floor. Before she was a paragon, I mean. After that, she really fell apart. I mean, she leaves me and flits about with that water-dart Hespith. What's she got that I don't? Just the thought of the two of them together, kissing and licking and intertwined on the floor of the deep roads. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the tent for a moment. Excuse me.
Yes. Sitting, as you observed. It's what you asked. I did. Parshera. Was there anything else? Speak, then. Ours wear the faces of men. No. They do not have the excuse of demons within them. Darkspawn, abominations, plagues, and storms. Men are far more dangerous than these. One moment of betrayal can bring more ruin than an earthquake. You know this. They are Tal Vashoth. They say they are Grey Ones. True in the knowledge of themselves. They are gaping holes where men used to be. Nothing can fill them. There was a village in the mountains of Seheron. Farmers. They grew cinnamon and nutmeg trees in perfectly ordered rows. There would always be one person waiting, a foreman, a harvester, rank didn't matter. Often they would say nothing. Simply watch as we worked to examine the empty house, a new one each time, that had once been the home of a colleague, a friend. We always made a point of searching. Now and then a body would turn up in a river eaten by rain and crows. More often we found nothing. Even in the worst parts of the jungle, the villagers would send someone with us to see the tiniest piece of bone or cloth. Anything contained the possibility of their lost friend. Must we speak of this? We could be fighting something. As you wish.
Interesting.
Oh, thank you.
You have my thanks.
Why, thank you, sir.
It'll do, sure.
Something I can help with? What is meant by someone like me? Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed. I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
You witnessed the rarest of things, Warden. The Dalish stand ready to defend Ferelden. Always, Warden.
I await your command. We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
Something on your mind? Of course. Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you? Let's see, I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills. Well, it wasn't an easy life, you know. I don't know whether or not you've noticed, but I'm not exactly the Chantry type. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky. I don't know. Maybe. When he came looking for recruits, I just remember praying fervently to the Maker that he would pick me. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have. He was a good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking.
Yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
You're not looking to get across to the tower, are you? Because I have strict orders not to let anyone pass. Oh, you're a Grey Warden, are you? Prove it. Yes? Oh, a Grey Warden seal. Aha! So you're claiming to be one of those. You know, I have some documents, too. They say I'm the Queen of Antiva. What do you think of that? And if you can't prove you're who you say you are, I'm not letting you in. Anyway, it was nice chatting with you. Now, on your way, right now, go. That dark-eyed temptress over there, surely the tower would be far too dull for her. Because it gets a little lonely out here sometimes. And, you know, you could just leave her with me.
Oh, excellent. I have been hoping for new prey.
Prey?
'Twill take but a moment. Perhaps you should go aboard the vessel to prepare while we are away. We must row ourselves across. I fear the lad will no longer have the use of his limbs or his eyes once I am done with him.
Huh. Well, maybe I should,
Wonderful. I can sense his terror. Oh, that will make the loving all the sweeter.
So you said you wanted to get across. Maybe we should go now, right now, now. Come along, I suppose.
And I want 2 men stationed within sight of the doors at all times. Do not open the doors without my express consent. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. The doors are barred. Are they keeping people out or in?
Now we wait and pray. We're dealing with a very delicate situation. You must leave for your own safety. I am weary of the Grey Warden's ceaseless need for men to fight the Darkspawn, but it is their right. You'll find no allies here. The Templars can spare no men, and the mages are indisposed. I shall speak plainly. The tower is no longer under our control. Abominations and demons stalk the tower's halls. The circle is lost. The tower has fallen. I have sent word to Denerim, calling for reinforcements and the right of annulment.
The mages are probably already dead. Any abominations remaining in there must be dealt with, no matter what.
This situation is dire. There is no alternative. Everything in the tower must be destroyed so it can be made safe again. If any are still alive, the Maker himself has shielded them. No one could have survived those monstrous creatures. It is too painful to hope for survivors and find nothing. I assure you, an abomination is a force to be reckoned with, and you will face more than one. A word of caution. Once you cross that threshold, there is no turning back. The great doors must remain barred. I will open them for no one until I have proof that it is safe. I will only believe it is over if the first enchanter stands before me and tells me it is so. If Irving has fallen, then the circle is lost and must be destroyed. May Andraste lend you her courage, whatever you decide.
Be on your guard. They could attack at any moment.
My wounds! They burn! It's unbearable!
I wish this were over. We're running low on supplies, and I don't know how much longer we'll last. We need the abominations and demons out of this place, if that's what you mean. If you have anything to trade, that would be helpful too.
As I recall,
Have you
shutting
ever
the door
seen
and
an
throwing away the
abomination?
key was definitely the
Sight will
Templar
haunt
Plan
me
B.
forever.
Very well. Perhaps I could have a try at that.
It's you. No, come no further. Grey Warden or no, I will strike you down where you stand. I am a mage of the Circle. More importantly, why are you here? The Templars would not let just anyone by. Then you do serve the Templars, as I feared. Do they have the right of annulment? So Gregor thinks the Circle is beyond hope. He probably assumes we are all dead. They abandoned us to our fate. But even trapped as we are, we have survived. If they invoke the right, however, we will not be able to stand against them. Let it suffice to say that we had something of a revolt on our hands, led by a mage named Uldred. When he returned from the battle at Ostagar, he tried to take over the Circle. As you can see, it didn't work out as he had planned. I don't know what became of Uldred, but I am certain all this is his doing. I will not lose the Circle to one man's pride and stupidity. I erected a barrier over the door leading to the rest of the tower, so nothing from inside could attack the children. You will not be able to enter the tower as long as the barrier holds, but I will dispel it if you join with me to save this Circle. Yes, even if we cannot eliminate all the demons and abominations, together we could lead the survivors out. Once Gregor sees that we have made the tower safe, I trust he will tell his men to back down. He is not unreasonable.
You want us to assist this preachy schoolmistress to rescue these pathetic excuses for mages? They allow themselves to be corralled like cattle, mindless. Now their masters have chosen death for them, and I say, let them have it. I could be here had my mother not shielded me from the Templars, so I am to show sympathy. My mother often said that things are the way they are because they could not have been any other way. I always questioned this. Do what you wish. I care not.
Petra, Kenan, look after the others. I will be back soon.
Wyn, are you sure you're all right? You were so badly hurt earlier. Maybe I should come along.
The others need your protection more. I will be all right. Stay here with them. Keep them safe and calm. Your confidence is refreshing, though you should make sure it does not blind you to your weaknesses. If you are ready, let us go end this.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever seen an abomination?
I don't suppose this is what you expected the circle to be like, is it? I keep thinking this is our punishment for being mages. That's why the Templars have to do away with us. Their swords are like the sword of mercy that sent Andraste back to the Maker. We should let the Templars come. Only then can we be cleansed of our wickedness. I will pray. May we abandon our tainted bodies to find peace with the Maker.
Look after her, will you? I don't know if she's up to this, especially not after... I just worry. Thank you. And thank you again for helping us.
Have you ever seen an abomination?
If I was a proper mage like Wynne, I could save us.
Here we are. I'm somewhat amazed at myself for having kept it in place this long. It made me very weary at times, but I had to stay strong to keep us safe. Be prepared for anything. I do not know what manner of beasts lurk beyond this barrier.
Do not fear, my good lady. Our Grey Warden is very good at fending off attackers. Speaking from experience here.
All right. Be on your guard.
Begun.
Careful!
I shall do it.
Please refrain from going into the stockroom. It is a mess, and I've not been able to get it into a state fit to be seen. I was trying to tidy up, but there was little I could do. The stockroom is my responsibility. I must keep it clean. I tried to leave when things got quiet. That was when I encountered the barrier. Finding no other way out, I returned to work.
Owain, you should have said something. I would have opened the door for you.
The stockroom is familiar. I prefer to be here. I would prefer not to die. I would prefer it if the tower returned to the way it was. Perhaps Niall will succeed and save us all. I do not know, but he came here with several others and took the litany of Adralla.
But that protects from mind domination. Is blood magic at work here?
I do not know.
Niall was in the meeting. He would know. Blood magic. I was afraid of this. We should find Niall. The litany will give us a fighting chance against any blood mages we encounter.
I wish you luck. Perhaps this will be over soon and things will return to the way they were. Goodbye.
Something on your mind?
It shall be done.
What are we doing? Have you thought about it? Keep your eyes open.
There is no glory in bloodshed!
Please, please don't kill me. I know I have no right to ask for mercy, but I didn't mean for this death and destruction. We were just trying to free ourselves. Aldred told us that the Circle would support Loghain, and Loghain would help us be free of the Chantry. You don't know what it was like. The Templars were watching. Always watching. We thought someone always has to take the first step. Force a change, no matter the cost.
Nothing is worth what you've done to this place.
And now Aldred's gone mad, and we are scattered, doomed to die at the hands of those who seek to right our wrongs. What else can I do? I'm trapped here. Thank you. The Maker will surely turn his eyes on you for your mercy.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
I shall do it.
Are the demons gone? Is it safe? I don't want to die. If you're sure it's safe, I could take a peek outside.
Oh. Ah, yeah. Yes. Oh, I have a crick in my back and my bum's gone numb. Oh, holy maker, look at this. Those demons didn't know what hit them, did they? Godwyn, Mage of the Circle of Ferelden, at your service. Oh, not as pleased as I am that you came along when you did. There were demons everywhere, blocking my exit. I decided that the best thing to do in that situation was to hide and be very, very quiet. I just really want to be somewhere safe. I think I might stay here for now. Maybe go back into my closet for a little while. And go where? The Templars have locked the door. I'm just going to stay here and see what happens. Thank you again for saving me. May we meet again in happier, less life-threatening times. Oh, it's hard to remain quiet and hidden when you keep approaching me like this.
There's nothing here!
There must be something left. If we get out, we're gonna need gold. Aldred said.
Aldred's not here, is he? Keep your mouth shut and we'll be right as rain.
Good work.
This looks like the head enchanter's study, maybe. You think he's read all those?
As you like.
At your service.
On it.
You get the feeling things are just getting worse as we go up?
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
I shall do it. Careful! I think they've seen us! It has begun. I shall do it.
Let us end this.
As you say. If we must fight, let us do it quickly. Watch out! It's begun. Very well. I shall do it. It shall be done. Take this! Let's be ready. That went well. As you say.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
Very well.
Thank you for your assistance.
Thank you. That was an uncomfortable experience.
Now that's just unnecessary.
Perhaps I could have a try at that.
It is time for supper.
Yes, my love. What are we having tonight?
Roast boar, your favorite, and candied yams. The meal looks sumptuous.
You spoil me, my sweet. How fare our children at their lessons?
You should ask them yourself.
What have you learned, my son?
Mother has me practicing my penmanship. She raps me on the knuckles if my letters are not formed correctly.
Yes, it is important for a young man to be able to write. And what about you, my dearest Missa?
Mother is teaching me to play the harp. And I helped with supper.
Well, it is delicious. Thank you.
Isn't this wonderful, husband? Isn't our life perfect?
Yes, it is all perfect.
Everything is just as you wanted, my knight. Our love and our family is more than you hoped for.
Do you hear something, love?
It is nothing, my darling. Just the door. I will get it. The children have finished supper. Tuck them into bed while I see who it is.
Don't be long. The children will want to kiss you goodnight.
I will be but a moment, my pet. You are intruding upon a loving, intimate moment, and I dislike disruptions. Happiness is bewitching. There is a certain power in all things mortals delight in. I have given him what he always wanted. Where is the harm in that? All emotion is intangible. You cannot see it, cannot grasp it.
But it is normally caused by something real. Real events, real people. What you've done to him is abhorrent.
I saw his loneliness and longing for a family that loved him.
Companionship that is only in the mind. All the fun, none of the cleanup.
No one else would have known his heart. He did not know it himself.
We are partners. I give him what no one else can, and through him, I experience what it is to be mortal. This I will do. I vow to do no harm to you, nor those who travel with you. You have my thanks, if that means anything to you. You will not see us again. Come, my pet. We are going for a walk. The children want you to show them all the stars in the night sky.
Oh, look, visitors. I'd entertain you, but too much effort involved. He's just resting. Poor lad. He was so very, very weary. You want to join us, don't you? Wouldn't you like to just lay down and forget about all this? Leave it all behind.
What is this? Some ridiculous ploy to get me to let down my guard?
Can't keep eyes open. Someone pinch me.
Resist. You must resist. Else we are all lost.
Why do you fight? You deserve more. You deserve a rest. The world will go on without you.
Ah, there you are. I'm not disturbing you, am I? Dead? Me? I have been close many times, but I never quite made it all the way. I just wanted to make sure you were happy here in Weishaupt. These grand halls were built by the first Grey Wardens. Isn't it breathtaking? Everything is as it should be. We have eradicated the Darkspawn, and the world is at peace. But now it is, for the first time in history, and you played a part in the making of that history. Do you not remember? It was a triumph for all of us, bringing down the Archdemon and setting the underground lairs ablaze. The Grey Wardens shall be keepers of history, We shall tell tales and sing songs of a more tumultuous time, that others may rejoice in knowing that that time is past. The Duncan you know was a man forged in the fires of war. I am different now, at peace. I have learned to be tranquil. Foolish child. I have given you so much and you cast it back in my face. Can you not be content with the peace I offer? Yes. All we need do now is rest, and take pride in what we have accomplished.
Welcome, my friend. We fought the good fight and won! Rejoice!